Please subscribe my channel. I never imagined that one single evening could quietly wipe away all my trust in our relationship. Not through yelling or betrayal, just one simple decision that showed me my true place. My name is Michael. Back then, I was 32 years old, living what seemed like a steady, normal life with Sarah. We weren't showy or full of drama. We were just comfortable. And I thought that comfort meant real commitment. Sarah enjoyed going to parties. I didn't. Not because I wanted to control her or felt jealous. I simply liked calm evenings, regular routines, and waking up early. She told me I helped keep her steady. I trusted her words. For 3 years, we seemed to balance each other pretty well. I helped with her job goals. She seemed to value my reliability. Or at least, that's what I convinced myself. The evening when everything fell apart was meant to be ordinary. We had planned a Friday dinner and chosen a movie to watch. She stood by the mirror, fixing her outfit, while I sat on the bed, putting on my shoes. She smiled in a distant way and said, "I'm actually going out." It turned out Emily's birthday event had become a large gathering. I chuckled, thinking she was teasing. She wasn't. She picked up her purse and mentioned she'd return late. I asked how late. She just shrugged. That shrug meant more than any words. It showed I wasn't included in her plans. I wasn't even thought about. I didn't fight it. That's key. I simply nodded and said, "Okay." She gave me a quick kiss on the cheek as she headed out the door. Her scent lingered behind her like the end of a statement that was already finished. When the door shut, the apartment felt empty. I got food delivery for one, sat on the sofa, and waited for a message that never arrived. Time went by. Midnight passed, then 1 a.m., and my phone remained quiet. Not even a quick "I'm okay" text. That's when things changed inside me. Not rage or envy, just clear realization. I saw that I was waiting in a life where waiting had become usual. If you've ever felt like the one always left waiting, give this a like so the story reaches others who get that emotion. She got home around 3 in the morning, noisy and happy, holding her phone and looking at photos she hadn't shared with me. I asked if she enjoyed herself. She replied, "You should have joined." But her tone made it obvious she didn't really want that. I went to sleep without saying more. The days that followed hurt more than that night. She behaved as if nothing was wrong, like picking a party over me didn't matter at all. When I brought it up, she sighed deeply and told me I was reading too much into it. That word, overthinking, stayed with me. It's surprising how quickly people brush off your feelings when it bothers them. I began to see habits I'd overlooked earlier. How plans often changed at the last moment. How I always adapted. How she just expected I'd always be around. I wasn't miserable. I felt unseen. There's a big difference, and feeling unseen hurts deeper and longer. One night, I asked her straight if she still wanted our relationship. She chuckled and said, "Why are you getting so serious?" That chuckle changed something in me forever. It showed my worries didn't merit a real response. Leave a comment if you agree that being laughed at in a heartfelt talk is worse than a full argument. I didn't declare my choice. I didn't warn about leaving. I didn't push for changes. I chose a calmer path. I quit justifying myself. I stopped changing my plans. I stopped being there automatically. In the weeks after, I prepared to go. It was smooth and quiet. It appeared as if everything was normal. I moved my share of our savings to my own account. I refreshed my job resume. I took a work opportunity in another state that I'd put off before. I packed my belongings bit by bit, carefully when she wasn't around. Each neatly folded item felt like breathing freely again. She finally saw something and asked if I was okay. I said I was just occupied with work. Really, I was getting ready to leave without any big scene. Without conflict, she could keep downplaying my feelings. The final night I stayed there, she went out once more. Another gathering, another shrug. I placed a short note on the kitchen table. It wasn't full of emotion or lengthy, just truthful. I wrote that I wasn't mad. I wished her the best. I explained I deserved more than feeling like an extra option. In the comments, write "optional" if you've ever felt like a second choice in someone's world. I turned the key in the lock as I left and didn't glance back. At least not right away. I had no idea how long I'd stay away. I just knew I wouldn't return as the same man. What surprised me was how my quiet departure spoke louder than staying ever did. And 2 years on, Sarah would at last grasp what that quiet meant. Those 2 years transformed me in ways I didn't notice at first. New city, new work, new days where nobody shrugged off my presence. I rebuilt my life calmly. I didn't share posts about personal growth. I didn't broadcast my recovery. I simply lived it. That was the goal. Leaving quietly wasn't to hurt her. It was to pick myself first, without needing approval. Sarah attempted contact in the early months. A few messages, one missed call. I didn't answer, not from anger, but because responding would open a door I'd shut for good. My silence set a limit she hadn't seen coming. Life went on. I settled into a cozy apartment close to the river in Portland. I found friends who arrived when they promised. I started dating again, slowly and thoughtfully. I discovered that true calm only seems dull if you're used to constant upset. Over time, the pain of feeling optional faded. It turned into a valuable lesson. Then one day, almost exactly 2 years later, my phone notified me of something unexpected. An email from Sarah. The subject, "Can we talk?" I looked at it longer than I planned. Out of interest, not longing. Finally, I read it. She wrote as if she'd rehearsed her sorrow many times. She admitted she'd changed. She said she now saw what she'd lost. She called herself young, scattered, unaware. She requested one meeting. I didn't reply immediately. I took a walk instead. I reflected on the man I was when I left. I considered the person I'd grown into. I faced an uneasy truth. Her words didn't affect me like they once would have. That fact was bigger than any sorry. Even so, I said yes to meeting. Ending things properly doesn't always mean staying away. Sometimes it means facing the past with clear eyes. We met at a calm coffee shop in downtown Seattle called Common Grounds. She got there first. That was different already. When she spotted me, her expression shifted in a way I neither liked nor disliked. It was pure acknowledgement. She sensed the gap. She felt it. She attempted a smile. It fell short. She spoke first. She described a tough period. Friends drifted away. Parties grew boring. New relationships failed. She said my departure made everything pause long enough for her to view herself clearly. She regretted picking fun over steadiness. She wished she could redo it. I listened fully, not out of duty, but because I could now without pain. When she stopped, she waited. The quiet grew. She seemed anxious, exposed. I shared the truth. I explained that leaving wasn't just about one party. It was about the pattern it showed, feeling undervalued, mocked when vulnerable, treated as optional. I said my quiet exit wasn't revenge. It was choosing self-worth. She wondered if there was any possibility. Not soon, not someday, ever. I shook my head. Not harshly, not with pride, just truthfully. I told her, sorry doesn't turn back time. Change doesn't force pardon. I added, I hope you apply what you've learned to someone new. Tears welled in her eyes. She nodded. She said she got it, even though it stung. As we got up to go, she paused, then thanked me for coming. I wished her good luck. And that ended it. If this part touched you, pass the story to someone who needs reminding that valuing yourself isn't mean. I left feeling easier than I thought. Not from victory, but because winning no longer mattered. Real closure came from her words not shaking me anymore. Not from her sorrow. That evening, I pondered how people often confuse easy access with forever. How purposeful quiet can teach the strongest lesson. Comment your thoughts. Do you think people only see your worth after you leave, or should they appreciate it while you're there? Share below. Sarah's regret didn't alter my past. It just proved one thing. I chose correctly by leaving calmly. Going away without noise taught me this. When someone reveals your spot in their life, trust it right away. If this added something for you, like the video, subscribe for more true stories, and comment one key takeaway from Michael's experience.